Thanks for listening to the show, guys. We really appreciate it. We now have a patron account. It's patron.podbean.com/grrideshare. What that does is for a small monetary donation per month, you get a couple of extra perks. Level 1, $1 or more per month, you get early release to videos and podcasts and a thank you email. Level 2, to $5 or more per month, handwritten note from us, digital shout out on the show, and a private closed Facebook group with us. And level 3, $10 more per month, live shout out on our podcast or YouTube video, your choice. Be on a podcast with us or a phone call from one of us. You can talk rideshare or anything else. What this does is helps us support the monetary responsibilities for hosting a podcast and doing videos and getting new equipment and etc. So if you'd like to support us on that and give us a hand and help us out, patron.podbean.com/grrideshare. That's patron.podbean.com/grrideshare. Thanks.
Good stuff right here.
Well, see, now you screwed it up.
Oh,
yes, you did, because I want you should tip it like this, not down like that.
But I can't.
You can. How mine's like this?
Well, because it's turned the other way around.
Wow, that was loud.
Like that.
It's better. Yes, I like that. I turned your mic off because it was freaking. And I. No,
I thought I was bad.
Hello.
Beautiful. I'll just turn you up.
No, I can't.
I'll turn you up. Right there. Beautiful.
Right there.
Don't touch it.
Don't move it.
That's what she said.
Don't move it.
Don't you wish?
Don't touch it.
Perfect.
What? I like that shirt, Ben.
Thank you.
I don't know if I could pull it off, but I'm kind of like a t-shirt
Why would
guy.
you want to take my shirt off?
Oh,
You just said you could pull it off.
all right. So
He's that guy.
yep.
He is that guy.
Turn my timer on that Ben teased me on.
You don't
Don't do that.
You don't hear it, though.
If you hit it hard enough, I bet you would.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyways, all right, guys, let's get started. We have Ben and, of course, me, and you know our voices, but we have one of the original OGs.
Oh, yeah.
No, wait, is it GO or OG?
I think it's OG.
What is it?
That's pretty clutch.
That's going to be the word of the night.
There you go.
And my verbal crutch is basically, so I'm going to try to work on that too.
What's an OGGO? What?
Original gangster. It just
of
came to
course.
me.
One of the original gangsters, yeah.
So, yep. Jesper.
Hey, I referred Jesper.
No, it was the other way around. No, wait, I referred you to Lyft. You referred me to Uber. So that's how it was.
Mm-hmm. I scratched your
Many
back.
years ago, many years ago, we sat on my deck and enjoyed my meat.
Oh,
Barbecue.
Wow.
that was a good pause.
And we started talking about rideshare.
We did.
Yeah, it was good.
So, I had the last 2 weeks, I drove.
Meat.
No, I didn't drive. Oh, boy. I see how this is going to go. I did not drive over.
Edit that out.
What?
We need to edit that out.
No, there is no editing
don't
in
edit.
this. So, I drove one weekend. That was the end of Electric Forest, I believe, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I didn't drive last weekend over the 4th. Had the longest trip of my career to Traverse City. So that was good. Didn't pay out as much as I'd like, but that is what it is. So did not get a tip, did not ask for money up front. The passenger was a active duty, and I thought, the kid was in a pinch, couldn't rent a car.
Yeah.
He said that if you're active military, you're supposed to be able to rent a car if you're under 25. He showed his ID. They said no way. I don't know if that's true or not, but I definitely was happy to take him. So, what about you?
I drive all the time.
Yeah, I know, but did you have anything?
Friday night was horrible. The week of the week of the
4th. So last weekend.
Yep. Terrible.
Okay. Just
I
balls
think
slow.
I made like $30 and said, "I am done. I'm going home." It was
Really?
ridiculous.
I think I made 86 that night, but I also started.
But you had to work
early.
your butt off to get.
Oh no,
that.
it was horrible. Absolutely, it was horrible. I had like just a ton of little tiny rides. It was stupid too because I think I had like, I don't even know, 16 rides or something like that. It was really it was dumb. But it was so the week before that, I actually had a couple of good ones. I had my trip to well, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but that was my one of my longer trips of my career. And then I thought I was going to have a 60 plus to Detroit. And I called him, and I was at the airport, so I called him and tried to negotiate a pre-tip, which he was okay with.
Just tell your story. Ben and I are talking. I didn't want to interrupt your story.
There you go.
So someone's breathing hard.
So I tried to negotiate a pre-tip or like a tip up front, and we kind of decided on $25, and that was going to be okay. A little bit low for
Where was that going again?
Detroit.
Okay.
So a little bit low for a Detroit trip, but whatever.
It would have paid for your gas though.
Absolutely, and it would have been my longest trip ever, so that was fine. But then he called. I got there, and then he canceled. And then he called me, and he was able to get a hold of me still because I hadn't gotten another one. And he said the words were, my wife made other arrangements, so we all set. So I think what happened was she got mad that I asked for more money, and then they decided on just going a different direction. So I mean, but again, you run the risk of that when you ask for more money on the
and unfortunately, with being a couple, she might have been like, "No, that's not how Uber works. We're not doing that."
Yeah,
something to that effect.
Yep. So I mean, and again, so that's that. I did have another trip that was kind of, honestly, probably borderline one of my most uncomfortable rides. I picked up. It was a father and his son, and probably his son's friend. I think it was. I picked them up at Nick Fink's.
Comstock Park.
Yes. Yep. I think they had been to the ball game, and then they did like an aftermatch there or something. They were pretty drunk. And it was just, the conversation was just very, very uncomfortable. The dad was talking about things that should not be talked about with your sons, things that him and his wife should be talking about only, and they were doing in the bedroom and so forth. And it was just, it was super awkward, super uncomfortable. I mean, it was almost borderline where I pulled over. I was like very close to just pulling over and say, "Okay, guys, you got to go." Because that was just, I mean, and Jason, you remember I talked to you about it afterwards, and it's just, that was just, no. There's just some things. I know the mom was never going to hear those words, and that's fine, but there's just, no, that was just, it was very disrespectful to her.
So you would have been fine if it was just boyfriend, girlfriend talking about that about each other? Or you were just kind of bummed that they were treating the wife or the girlfriend, even though she wasn't there, like that?
It was obviously the mom, and the thing is, the disrespectful talk came from the son and the friend too. It was just,
that's really weird.
It was just super uncomfortable.
My guess is it was probably a stepmom.
Did you drop them off in a trailer park?
Well, they were definitely white trash. There's no doubt about it.
Sorry for alienating all our trailer park fans.
No, I mean, but
sorry,
I'm not trying to do that. But this was just super disrespectful. It was
I get it.
It was just,
it's uncomfortable. It's
I was
gross.
very uncomfortable. I mean, I remember when I just started out driving Uber, I had another one. I drove a gentleman, if you can call him that, and he was on the phone all the ride there, and every other word was MF this, MF that. And I was pretty uncomfortable with that, but he was obviously just, talking with his buddies or whatever. So it wasn't like something like that. But this was probably up there as the worst ride I've had. Like,
it's always weird when somebody drops MFers in front of a stranger. I mean, okay, you're walking down the street, that's not, but you're in a car with somebody that you don't know, and you're just like, MF this, MF that. You're like,
well, he was on the phone when he got into my car. And he confirmed, that's where I'm going, whatever. Right. And then he was going home from work, so I picked him up after the what is it, like the second shift is over. So it was that time.
Like 11 midnight.
Yep. And it was just that was pretty uncomfortable as well. That was in my small car.
Yeah.
And I know
right.
we're not prudes. We all say
No,
MFers at times and talk about stuff, but when you're in a strange,
What does MF stand for?
Look it up.
Google it. Urban Dictionary. But no, I get it. It is weird. And even if it was a boyfriend girlfriend, it's still like, hey, I'm in the car.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. There's no divider here.
It's not the best place for this.
But interesting. But yeah, so it was.
I had a trip on 131. The car in front of me, I'm not even kidding, passenger in the front seat on the freeway. Front passenger is like sticking a selfie stick out the window on the freeway. I have to review the footage, see if I still have it, but it was
That's
hysterical.
funny. You do see some crazy thing just driving.
Yeah.
I love that dash cam, man. I get so much fun stuff on there. All right, so yeah, for the most part, it's been slow, just like the summer. But
Yep.
I know you guys are venturing out tomorrow. We won't mention anything on that, but although it doesn't
Friday.
matter,
Friday.
it's not going to get posted till Monday, anyways.
Exactly.
You guys are going to try the Lakeshore.
Yep.
On Friday.
Thanks for the invite, by the way. No one invited me to your little get together, and I was offended.
Hey, Jesper invited
hurt-
himself.
you hurt my
could have
heart.
invited
I was gonna
yourself.
say.
I know.
mean,
I'm just teasing you guys. So
we were just assuming you weren't going to drive. You're part timer anyway.
no, I am not Nick. I have driven every weekend for the last 6 weeks, probably, except the fourth. Except the fourth.
You didn't miss much.
No.
And I'm probably going out. Well, I know I'm going out Friday and Saturday, probably a little bit later.
I'm
But
going to the beach on Saturday
during the day,
during the day.
nice. Which beach?
Duck Lake State Park.
Duck Lake State Park.
I should have not have said that.
Oh yeah, all your fans.
It's like a top secret place.
Okay, because I don't know where it is.
Well, we
so
can beep it out.
It's north of Muskegon.
there is no beeping.
And here you go. You get even more.
Yeah, you just
There you go.
No,
No,
Traverse City.
People don't really know where it is. You'd have to drive by it to even see it. But it's a little lake tucked off of 31, and it feeds into Lake Michigan.
Okay.
So
It's a state park.
It
Is there
is.
camping there?
I think there is nearby. Yes.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, my wife went out last night with her girlfriend, and they went to Holland State Park. She's never been.
Oh man, that's
So-
crazy there.
Yeah, she grew up on the east side, but's been over here since she's been 21, and went to Grand Valley here. And her mom has a place up north. That's where we were, and it has water. So every time there's a holiday or anything like that, we always go north. My kids have never seen Lake Michigan.
What? You're kidding.
No,
I gotta tell
What
you,
kind of parent are you?
I know I'm going to get some hate for that, but
the whole Lake Michigan thing. Don't even get me started on that. I mean, I'm from Denmark, obviously, and over there, a body of water that big is the ocean. Okay,
right.
And so when I first saw Lake Michigan, I was like, "This is so wrong," because it's the ocean size, right?
Right.
But it doesn't smell salty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like everything was like it was like this very big, like crazy moment to me because
Yeah,
like,
because the only big body of water you've seen is the ocean.
why? Where's the smell, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's smell there. It's just not salt.
It's not a salt smell, right? It's just like this is all wrong.
Yeah, that's funny. But recently, Jesper wrote a great article, a blog article, and it is pretty complex,
Right.
and it's good. And I, basically what it explains is the wear and tear and why tipping is so important, right?
Correct.
So we do these long trips like the Traverse City one,
Yep.
and which one did you do?
This was the Douglas trip.
The Douglas
Yeah.
trip. Okay.
So I picked them up at the airport. It was another situation just like what you had. The gentleman wasn't able to your gentleman who wasn't able to rent a car.
Yeah.
In my case, it was a mom and 4 young teenagers. Probably someone was even over 20. But anyway, so there was 2 of her kids, and then the oldest boy's girlfriend, and I think she had 2 boys, and then the young boy had brought a friend as well. So it was they were going to go to Douglas and stay at a family cabin.
Okay.
And she had rented a vehicle, a large vehicle, to be picked up, but nobody told her that since she didn't have a general
major credit card,
she couldn't rent it.
Right.
And so she was standing there, and it was probably what was it, like 10:30 at night or something like that? It was pretty late.
Yeah.
10:37.
Was it 10:37?
It was.
He was looking at it.
Oh, there you go. So it was 10:30 at night, and she wasn't able to get that car, and she was like, "Oh, what am I going to do?" And so luckily we were there, and I went and picked her up, and were able to get her to Douglas. But and then they were going to rent some other vehicles the next day. I guess they had some other options, but it was just one of those situations. Like, well, why don't they tell you that over the phone? So.
For some reason, car rental has not caught up with the times. I feel,
especially at the airport.
Yeah, I understand that you're taking a car. It's a $20,000 car, so there has to be some extra rules. But I mean, you got to be 25. I mean, you can vote, go in the military, own a gun, drink, smoke cigarettes. But you can't rent a car until you're 25.
Well, and the other thing I think is stupid about renting a car is the process is still antiquated.
Yeah.
Why can't I go into just like a vending machine?
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. I'm
slide
out.
my credit card and
right.
check, and
well, how else are they going to try to get you to get the GPS and the satellite
the
radio?
upsells.
I understand, but it's an
just give me a pop up that I can just hit an X and move on.
Seriously. There you go, right? I mean, just get me my vehicle so I can get to where I need to be.
I don't know if some of the airports maybe are more streamlined. I mean, let's face it, Grand Rapids, it's a nice airport, but it's not technology like moving and shaking.
Yep.
So
correct.
But
so,
anyways, back to your ride.
So I took him down to Douglas,
yep.
And it was a great trip. We had some very fun, awesome conversations. They were from out west. So anyways, so that was a great trip. And then the trip was actually on the girlfriend's phone. And so she first said that she was going to tip me and all that stuff. But then the mom, she said, no, I handle it. So she stuck me a 20.
Nice.
Which was awesome, right? So then, there was $55 on the app, and then they gave me a 20. But then, lo and behold, later on, the girl still tipped me $10. So it ended up being
awesome.
Absolutely. So it ended up being an $85 fare. And then me and Jason talked a little bit back and forth on that one on Telegram. And I just decided that it would be a really good topic to just kind of try and go through. What is the points that when, how do you actually calculate how much you make on a trip like that? And there's still things that I haven't covered in that article.
Yeah, I was going to say you covered the gas and the wear and tear, but one thing you didn't cover in there is the mileage credit you get.
Correct.
And that's huge.
It is absolutely huge. But the reason, as I stated in there, why I didn't cover it is because it's just super difficult to kind of look at that on a one ride.
Right. And you're not getting that money.
No.
So it just reduces your taxable income. And so how do you, on the fly, like what you did, how do you figure out that's...
Yep. I mean, and there's probably ways to doing it, right?
Right.
But I just didn't. So, and honestly, I think if I got to be 100% fair about it, I think some of the numbers that I looked up, using the cost calculators online, I think they're a little bit bloated. I think those numbers are a little bit out of sync with what it should be. Like, for instance, I drive E85 on my van.
Okay.
So that's probably, it's a little bit cheaper. Definitely with highway mileage. My mileage is pretty good on the E85. So I'm pretty convinced that I did not spend $10.24 in gas. And I certainly didn't spend $16 in wear and tear, but I was just using the average numbers, the average tools that are available to everybody to kind of do that. So we had something to start with.
Sure.
I'd be interesting to take that wear and tear. How could we do this? And this just popped into my head. How can we do this? Take a year's worth of driving and figure that out. Is it possible to do that? Like,
sure.
Do you just need all the miles that we drove?
Yep.
Because I'm like $16 in wear and tear. Seems like a lot, but
right.
I mean,
but if you look at it, right? I mean, an oil change is $90 now, right?
Right.
I mean, for for high mileage. What is it that you had me?
Synthetic.
Yeah, the full synthetic now.
That's why I would like to do it for a year and
Right.
say how much is wear and tear and then it says, let's say it's $1,500. Okay, what did I spend in the year on maintenance? I spent $500.
Yep. So that's that. What I'm gonna do is so this will be out on so about a week after this podcast goes live, I guess I'm gonna have a follow-up blog to this one with your TC trip.
Right.
And in that one, what I'll do is I'll post the spreadsheet for how you calculate it.
Okay, that might be good for people.
Yep, and I'll put some links in there to the online services that I utilized for looking up this stuff, so people can find their own numbers that matches their car.
Just for a perspective, so you made, without your wear and tear in your tips, you made $85. Okay,
right,
and that was a 49-minute trip.
It's pretty
Correct.
good.
Now that was an XL. I made 111
right.
on a 2.5-hour trip.
Was that X or XL?
X?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just putting in perspective how much
absolutely.
$30 cash can really boost.
Right. And then the other thing that I think makes this blog item a little bit, is whether or not you want to calculate the wait time first. Because we've had, and the reason why I did that is because we've had so many big discussions on Facebook about whether or not it's worth it to hang out at the airport for hours on end.
Yeah.
Like
So that's what you're talking about, wait time?
Oh, absolutely.
So you're
that was
ignoring everything. So you wait for an hour and then get that ride.
the wait time I had in there. That was the wait time from when I ended my last ride
Yeah.
till I got this one.
Right.
Because that's essentially, that's all the time you have to look at. That was the time involved with getting this ride.
I feel like you shouldn't count that because you're not working. I mean, you are, but the car is off. You're sitting there. You're not spending any money. $0.
But you're still there.
Right.
You're still
How much is
spending
your
your
time
time.
worth?
What is your time
exactly.
worth? So that was, again, whether or not you want to do that or not,
Right,
it
it's
was
just
it's part of the discussion, and whether it's a business decision, because it was also a business decision for me to turn down the little rides.
Yeah.
So whether, however you want to do that, in this case here, I did include it. And it's interesting to look at it from both perspectives, right?
Yeah.
Because without the tip, with my wait time, just go down to that one. Now all of a sudden, I'm looking at $22.40. Without the tip, $22.47 an hour before I calculated gas and wear and tear.
So that's with the 55 minutes or the 50 minutes of wait time, or
That's with the extra wait time. Yes.
okay.
Yeah, that's with the added 50 minutes, right? So you can see, because now I'm talking about 148 minutes. That includes my wait time.
And your trip back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all the time that I spent on that trip. So that's the wait time. It's there and it's back.
Okay. Well, it's a good article. Check it out on our website, grrideshareadventures.com. It can kind of break it down. And like Jesper said, we're going to take my Traverse City trip without the tip. And
And then,
I don't want to look at it.
No. Well, real fast before we move on.
Yes.
If you go down to the return tip, I think we just want to touch a little bit about that one. The new terms that Uber posted is a little bit more iffy when it comes to return trip fees than it was before.
Right.
Because they had very clearly indicated they were okay with it.
Yeah.
But now not so much. So it's whether or not they are kind of moving back and saying, no, we don't really want you doing that or whatever. I don't know. But as we write, and actually, thank you. Thank you, Ben, for doing that extra research on that part of it. But as we said, we can't find a clear indication as to whether or not they're actually okay with it anymore. But lots of people are doing it. I had one guy, I was talking to one guy at the airport. He says he don't do any long trips unless people give you $100 up front.
Oh, wow.
That was when we talked about.
So he's not
Detroit
doing
trip.
any trips then, because 100 is way too much.
Well, that was the Detroit. He says a Detroit trip, I would ask for $100 up front, and he gets him. I mean, that's the thing. So it's just.
I'd like to see the.
Yeah.
I mean, he can say that, but we all
Sure.
know. I
Yep.
mean, I'm not saying he doesn't, but I take it with a grain of salt. I will let you know that I have done a return trip before they changed it. I did it to Big Rapids.
Right.
And I fought with them for a week and I got it back.
Really?
Yeah, because there was no market there. Now, like my
Yeah,
Traverse City trip,
that's
you
true.
saw the surge. It was 5 times. I'm in a market where I could have worked.
Yeah.
The Uber's going to be like, no, you can work. I mean, you can earn. I could have done 3 or 4 trips to pay
Sure.
for my gas on the
Oh,
way
so
back.
Uber paid you for the trip back.
Not for the Traverse City one, but for the Big
yeah.
Rapids.
For Big Rapids.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't keep the app on. I just said, hey, this ride took me to an out of market area. I'm not able to get a ride back to Grand Rapids. Not that I would anyways, but in an email back and forth. And after like 3 or 4 emails in a couple of weeks, they gave it to me.
Okay.
So it turned a $60 trip into a $120 trip.
Nice.
I always wondered if they're eating that.
Well, they have to. Because I've had a couple of situations with that where I saw exactly what the passenger was charged.
Yeah.
And that was one time where I know that for a fact that I forget the situation, but Uber ended up paying me some stuff that they did not charge the rider for.
Yeah.
And so that was complete out of pocket for Uber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder on the tail end of it after emailing for a week. I can't believe they would go to the rider and say, "Oh, I'm going to need another $60."
No.
So
The rider would just say, "Yeah, well,
okay,
good luck with that."
I'll go to Lyft.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that article out, and then check in about a week and a
And
half.
of course, that's on grrideshareadventures.com.
That's right. All right, we'll jump into some rideshare news. This one's from Ben. This one, Uber and Lyft are forcing Southern California companies to adapt or die. So I did read this article. The gist of it is they're losing money. The valet companies are. That's the basis of the article, which makes sense. I mean, there's a ton of rideshare. So,
Yeah. And it's not only valet, but it's other businesses as well.
well, like, is that my dog making that noise?
Yeah, you know.
Brutus.
He's sleeping. He's fine. Leave him alone.
I think he was licking. What is he doing?
He's just sitting there.
Oh,
He's a good pup.
he is.
He
a
was
good-
snoring earlier.
Oh, was he? I didn't hear that. Yeah, it's parking lots, the whole nine. Looks like
Food
restaurant
trucks.
traffic, food trucks, all that. But what I got out of it, I thought was really good, or kind of with our industry. It says there's also a crucial issue of curb management, which we struggle with in Grand Rapids.
Oh,
Local government's
absolutely.
policies on who gets to use the valuable space on the side of the road. Space at the curb can be used for driving, paid parking, free parking, drop-off zones, valet areas, and food trucks. But it can't
And patios.
in patios. Yeah, in Grand Rapids.
Yep.
That one, what is that restaurant right by the Ottawa and Pearl? Is it Sunset?
Sundance.
Sundance of that. Just this random deck out
Yeah.
in the street. I don't know how they got the variance for that, but
There's several of those.
Well, so it started about 2 or 3 years ago in conjunction with the art prize, because that's how
Okay.
they build them. I think they were even art prize items or something like that, and they keep bringing them back.
here's a dumb question, and is it there in the winter?
No,
No,
I don't
they take
remember,
them
so they
down.
tear it because it's a pretty elaborate deck.
It is.
well, no,
Yeah.
they don't tear them down. They come apart.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know it's kind of a dumb question why they would keep that up in the winter, but yeah, that one's very out there. I mean,
Oh,
it's
And there are definitely businesses downtown that are upset because these things are taking very vital parking spots.
valuable spots.
So, like, there's a law firm that specializes in elder law, and there's one of these patio deck things that just appeared, and it took the 2 spots closest to the building. So all these elderly people that once parked and just walked in,
I think I read that
I
somewhere.
can't do it.
Is it still there?
It's still there.
But I mean, who even sits in those things? I mean, it's strange to me.
You get your food and eat out there.
No, I understand. I know what they're for, Ben. I'm not
Pretty
an idiot.
simple.
But who
Homeless,
Who
just
want to sit out?
sleep
Who
there.
want to sit out there and the cars are just like zooming by? It's not like it's nice and romantic.
That's true. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, if it's busy, I don't think I'd want to sit out there. The cool patio that we sat out at Graydon's was
Yeah.
kind of cool. I mean, it was still right on Plainfield, but it had a big wall there, so it was still outside. But that's a good point. All the
Did
fumes.
you just say my hipster place is cool?
Yeah, I did.
I'll write that down.
Graydon's Crossing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love that place.
Mhm.
They have the best. What's that called again? It's like
Food.
No, yeah.
Hashtag we're gonna need a pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
The last sentence and then is decisions about who gets priority after ripple effects on all players in the transportation industry. So it's true. I mean, we have huge issues. You know, no city. Well, like you were saying today in Chicago, this city is not equipped for all the rideshare drivers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Everywhere I looked, I saw these drivers, right? And this is like drivers. They have the old Uber stickers, the new. I mean, it don't matter at all,
Right?
And then they all have that Chicago, the parking permit for the airport.
Okay.
It's like so that you can see that they're definitely actively driving, but it's like everywhere you looked. It's like, and the city is just so congested.
Yeah.
It's crazy. For some reason, my app, I was not using Waze. Don't judge me.
He doesn't like it either.
No, I like it.
Nick and I are the only ways.
The problem I have is it's still not my default app on my phone.
Okay.
So when I use Google to search, it comes up on Google Maps.
Right.
So I just use that to go in there and so kind of it took me off the highway pretty early on and took me all the way down Lake Michigan Drive.
Oh yeah.
Which is a nice ride, but there's way too many cars. And then every other car was just Uber and Lyft vehicles. It's just crazy.
Yeah, we were in Chicago. I'll give that to you, Ben.
Oh.
You're the fact check guy. We are just killing it today. Last year we went, or maybe it was 2 years ago, we went to Chicago. We just parked in the ramp and we took rideshare everywhere. And how congested you said it was? It was like 15 minutes to go a mile.
Yep.
I mean, it just took forever because there were so many cars, and the girl was apologizing. I'm like, listen, I get it, but I won't even try to drive downtown. I parked, which was $50 a day,
right,
to park. But
I mean, I found a spot. I have to go around the building I need to go into. I went into the Hearn building, I think it's called. Anyways, it was kind of a weird thing. Anyways, I had to go to the Danish consulate. So I found a place, and it was $11 for the first 30 minutes.
okay,
And then from 30 to an hour, it was $14. And then it was $20 an hour after that. It's like, are you kidding me?
yeah. Welcome to Chicago.
I know, right?
So it's not that far away, but it pays or it charges like New York City.
In toll and parking, I spent $35 today.
Gosh.
All right, next up we have, this is just an article, and I just thought it was interesting. This does have some audio and video, so I'll play that, but it's in Nashville, and people are fussy about having where they need to be picked up or dropped off for the fireworks. So that's kind of what.
Don't even get me started on that one.
Yeah, that's kind of what this started. There's probably a long ad. Oh, no ad. I played.
Hey, look at that.
Guess what the ad was when I was looking at earlier? Soundstripe.
Of course.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, they got a dark mode. Nope, there it is.
Advertising.
Yeah. I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, yeah, we do that. I love that. And then it's like, it's got a dark mode. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. So this ad worked. It's a long ad. It's a 30-second ad.
What is dark mode?
Like, it'll show you. Dark mode. It just, instead of a white screen.
Yeah.
It changes the color.
Right.
Wow,
That I know,
fancy.
but you shouldn't be looking. Oh, I gotta turn it up now. It's starting. You shouldn't be looking at a white screen anyway.
For tomorrow night's big 4th of July celebration, be forewarned.
You may not be able to get as close as you thought. News 4's Carly Gordon has been scoping out the drop-off locations.
Carly, some of those are pretty far away here.
That's right. This is one of them. And if you're planning to travel with kids or older adults to see Nashville's famous fireworks way down that way, that could be quite the task. Uber driver Michael McMiller already had to pay a $100 fine.
And that really sucks.
This driver, Jamie Taylor, took to Facebook saying an officer
This
told
guy's
her if she didn't go to
a
one of
piece
the
of work.
designated rideshare locations, she would be ticketed.
That pretty much takes away your whole day of work.
There are 3 drop-offs for Wednesday night's 4th of July celebration. Police say the idea is to keep people safe and traffic moving. But several drivers, and especially their riders, say these locations are too far.
Sometimes you get bad ratings because they feel like they had to walk.
Take a second to look at your screen. The red lines show the roads that will be closed. The taxi drop-off location is the closest to the action. Then these are the designated areas
I mean,
for
come
Uber
on.
and
It's
Lyft.
2 blocks.
This Uber Lyft drop-off location is 2 blocks from Broadway and another 8 blocks to the riverfront.
She's standing in
Bottom
the
line,
middle of the road?
If you're using
I don't
a
know.
rideshare tomorrow,
Hey, she's by
wear
a
your
cone.
sneakers because you've got some walking to do. The rideshare zones are marked off with cones. Remember, after you walk to the show, you have to walk back. So heading into tomorrow,
Breaking
police
news.
and rideshare drivers alike are asking for your patience.
Just be understanding that your driver can't do everything. He can't give you curbside service. This isn't a high echelon car service. This is Uber. So, we can do the best we can with what we have.
Right on.
Chances are these rideshare locations will be lined with streets or cars tomorrow night. Not good for those of you wanting to avoid traffic. So to take another look at those road closures and rideshare locations, just head on over to our WSMV app. Tom, Tracy?
It just was funny how he said, we are not curb-to-curb service. This is not... I mean, I kind of thought that was a little douchey.
Well, but his gray sedan said the same thing, right?
Who?
His car was like, yeah, not really that nice.
Right. I mean, I feel like he was just like, hey, we're not... I don't know. To me, it felt like he was... I want to provide that good door-to-door service if I can't, but...
that gives tips.
Right, but just him saying... This, the way he said it, it was like, hey, B... we ain't doing door to door. This isn't black car. Well, yeah, you're driving a,
I think we've talked about it many times before. It's what is the attitude you put towards going on doing this, right? Whether you do it on your own terms or whatever, this is still real work.
Right.
I had a ride last year. At last year's,
I'm listening. Just to let you know, if I don't look at you, I am listening. I'm just kind of looking.
At last year's fireworks, I didn't go this year because I was off, but. Last year's fireworks, I caught a ride obviously that same night, and just as they were letting out,
yeah.
And I had just picked up a girl. I kid you not, it took me 50 minutes,
50,
to just get from
a Wabanab,
just the west side by the Y. Just by the Y.
Okay.
And then around the bridge and underneath and to get on the highway on the other side of Pearl. 50 minutes just to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even 2 blocks.
And she wasn't from the fireworks?
No.
Just a random ride?
I picked her up at a different one. It was actually a 2.0 surge. So it was kind of lucky and happy with that. And
Ballin'.
But she was super cool about it. Hey, it's not your fault. I couldn't. And she gave me a 5-star rating, and it's cool. But it could have been the other way around.
I have to ask. Were you using Waze when you did that? Because they would have routed you around that.
There's no way around it.
There was no way around it.
You could have gone south and cut across down towards Wealthy.
There was people. I was already the other way.
I know. I'm just
turning the car at that point.
Right.
Because I had cars behind me. I was locked in, and then people just walk. Last year there wasn't at that park that I can't pronounce. But
I can't either.
Anabawin. Whatever, Ben. I don't care.
Anabawin.
Last year it was on bridge. It was on the bridge. That's what they fired it off from.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, on bridge.
Why did they change it this year then?
I don't know.
I was curious.
But anyway, so they blocked off that whole area there. But yeah, I don't know. It was just crazy.
What you brought up is our next article, which I thought was cool, and we'll kind of break this down. Customer service lessons from the best Uber driver ever.
How did they get an article about me
without
me knowing?
Right.
You may want to talk to them. I mean, there's fast company after all. You get some money there.
Yeah.
So I read through this, and some of it I agree with. Basically, said it. Dang it. I catch it right when it comes out. He has a 4.99 rating with almost 5,000 rides. He drives in Toronto, which is great. So I'm going to go over his 7 things real briefly. Number 1, make a 10-second offer and then confirm the deal. He asks, do you have enough room back there? He moves the seat up within 10 seconds. He's able to show that he's in the high service game by doing those things. He says, it'll take 11 minutes to get to your destination. Does this sound good to you? The purpose of the question is to establish the service being offered. Find out if the passenger is in a rush. First of all, I'm never going to do that.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm going the speed limit. I mean, I'm going to take the most efficient route. So right away, I'm kind of like, it's not because I'm being mean. I'm like, I'm not going to break the law just because you didn't budget your time.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe that's a bad attitude. You can give hate, but...
Somebody's told me once in my professional life that Failure. What is it they say? Your failure to plan doesn't constitute
an emergency for you.
for me.
Exactly.
For
yeah.
me.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's like exactly.
And again, if they said it, I've rarely had. Well, we do drive mostly bar time, so there isn't usually a time crunch.
True.
But I've maybe 2 times I've had someone say I'm kind of in a hurry, and I just say, yeah, I'll do the best I can to get you there in a timely manner.
Oh, I had one. It was during the bar scene, but this guy was going to work at like must have been a 3rd shift or something. So he gets in the car. He's like, "Dude, I got to be to work like in about 10 minutes. Can you just go as fast as you can?" And he was right off 131. So I went as fast as I could. It was fun.
Let's talk about speeding.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, just checking. Number 2, set your own standards every day. So this one basically says, basically what it means is if you're going to do something, do it awesome. That's basically what he's saying, and set your own standards every day. It says either I do the thing or I don't do the thing, but if I do the thing, I do it the best. Number 3, it's always the customer's first time. I do it. I like this. He does say he wipes his seat mats between every ride. Yeah, I know. Jesper's shaking his head.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. And if he does, great. And he talks about cleaning at night. I understand that. Typically, I clean it every time I go out.
Oh, absolutely. Car wash and vacuum and all that stuff before I go out.
So I do agree with that. And something about he doesn't text while he's driving. Well, great. I don't either. But something about he has an autoresponder menu. Blah blah blah.
He doesn't
whatever.
hold the phone in his hand.
Yeah, right. Let's see. What's this? All these names of it are so dumb. You give the task to the yes part of your brain. Okay, that's a tip. I hate all these hippy dippy crap.
Says the man with the beard.
Hey,
Did you meditate today? Because I did.
did you?
I did.
I comb my beard.
Jesper, you're not a hippie, are you?
No, I stopped smoking a long time ago.
I don't get this one. I've read it. He says he lets his customer. Oh, so yes, part of your brain. So he's just saying he's a yes man, right? Lets the customers alter the route. He even calls passengers at home to tell them their Uber pool friend was dropped off safely.
What?
And tries to accommodate small requests along the way.
Speaking of that, let me just break in on that one because that was an interesting thing I had last weekend. I was just reminded of that. I picked up a guy downtown. It was on Pepinos, but it wasn't his app. I mean, so it was him, but it wasn't his app. And it was because they had the wrong address in there, and so he goes, "Well, I need to go here, not here." And so, okay, well then, that was kind of a red flag.
Then change it.
That was a red flag. Well, I don't have the phone, I can't change it. So, okay, well, are you okay if because he's like, well, my buddy's in Pepinos, I'm using his app,
right?
So I go, are you okay if I call your buddy? He go, yep, that's fine. So I called the buddy. Talk to him and say, hey, this is so and so.
Yeah, I
have your friend here in the car. Is that true? Yep. So they confirmed it that way. So that was pretty cool. I said, no. And then they were okay with me changing the address and that kind of stuff. So we ended up doing it that way. But
that's a veteran move, Jesper. Because a lot of rookie drivers would be like, okay,
all right,
and if it was a stolen one, then you wouldn't know.
Well, I had that one time where somebody tried to steal my ride.
I've had it happen one time, and it never since then.
He got mad. The guy I threw out, him and his 3 buddies, they all got in my car, and it was just at bar close. It was at the Woods, and they jumped in my car and so, are you so and so? Yep, that's me. Are you gonna go here? No, I just needed to change the app. And then he said, well, I needed to change the address. We're gonna go here. I said, well, you need to pull up your phone and change the address. Or somebody just stole my phone. No. Get out of my car, right?
Right.
And it took me a little bit of time to get him to get out of my car, and he got really mad.
Yeah.
Right? And he slammed the door on the way out and everything. It's like, yeah. It was crazy.
I have a story from that too. The one and only time that I got burned, and now I say, "What's your name?" instead of I say, "Is your name John?" Mm-hmm. So I did that. It was at I think Logan's Alley, or what's the one next to that one? Farrah's. One of those down there. And drunk guys, like, this was maybe 6 months in, on the ground. Of course, now if I saw that, I'd be like,
bye-bye.
See ya.
Get your own ride.
Right. So, and I was like, "Oh, are you Dave?" I think his name. Yep, yeah, we're Dave. They get in there, and I get halfway around the block and get a phone call.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the wrong people. So I immediately turn around and drop them off. I had trouble getting them out too. He was so drunk. He's like, "No, man, it's cool. I'll give you a tip." No, he still thought it was his Uber. Not like he was trying to over tip me just because to break the rules. He didn't understand that this wasn't his Uber.
Wow.
And his old lady's like, "Come on, honey." And then she just walks away. So I almost called the police, not to be mean, but I'm like, "Dude, you got to get out of the car. Like, I got to go." And then the other couple walked up and they're just standing there. I'm like, "I'm super sorry." I'm like, "I'm trying to get this guy." Of course, I'm not going to put my hands on him. But after that, I never said, "Hey, is your name Dave?"
Yep.
I had one like that too. About 5 months into me driving for Uber, and this is when I was driving my Mazda 3. I was at what's it called? The place up in East Grand Rapids, across the street from Yesterdog.
Hookah Lounge or
Easttown Sports Bar?
The sports bar, right? I pick
That
up.
apparently is racist.
Whatever.
I know. I didn't read any of it, but I saw some headlines.
So I pick up this girl, and I don't remember. It's 2.5 years old. 2.5 years ago. So I don't remember which way I asked about the question. But here's the funny part: is I pick her up. She confirms the name. She confirms the address. Right?
What?
And I take her to the address. And just after I dropped her off, I get a phone call. "Hey, dude, where are you?" So I dropped her off.
She confirmed the name, and I bet it was a friend of theirs, and she was just trying
Who knows? But it's like she was so drunk. She fell asleep on the way back, and it was like 5 blocks, right? So it was nothing, right? But I took her to the address in the app.
Well, so you said, "Is your name so-and-so?"
Yeah.
And she said yes.
Yeah.
And then when you confirmed the address, did you read the address to her?
Yeah.
Okay. So
And she
easily
just said
she
No.
could have said yeah. on
Well,
that.
and she did, but normally at that point, people don't want to get dropped off at a place that's not
That's true.
home.
That's a
Unless
good
they're
point.
totally drunk off there.
Well,
Well,
and
sound-
she was, right? But then the other thing, I did see her go up and knock on the door
She did? Oh,
at
awkward.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my God.
That's fantastic.
God.
But yeah, it was, yeah.
So, number 5, we buy with all senses. He only eats raw vegetables and salad in his car to avoid smells or odors. He needs his car to be a blank slate that passengers can immediately. To me, you got stinky farts. I mean, you're eating raw vegetables and salad. I mean, come on. When I do that,
Maybe he's a vegan. Who knows?
well, it's fine. I don't care about that. But basically, making sure the car is clean. If they want the radio on, that's fine. But he turns it off for the next person. Those things are fine. I don't have a problem with any of those. I mean, whatever.
I usually run Pandora, and I'll have people. If they make requests, I'll put them up.
Someday I would love to get a car that I could do that in, but I am in a old car that doesn't have like Bluetooth connectivity. I guess I could run a separate phone through an aux cord that when people ask, I don't have, which I do have.
I use my same phone. It's
I know, but
I have
He
a
doesn't have Bluetooth.
Pixel phone. You know, it's not one of those iPhones.
right. I mean, I can't overload it.
Actually do it.
I already have a tablet. So this next one you're going to love. Talking about the name, you're going to love this one. He asks what their name is. The one thing they tell you not do. Don't ask them because they're going to steal a ride, right? Yeah.
What is your name?
He goes, "What is your name?" No, wait.
That's what Uber
I'm
wants
sorry.
him to
I
say.
apologize. Uber wants him to say, "What is your name?" He says, "Hey, is your name Neil?"
Right.
And that's wrong.
That's what I do too, though. I know I do.
You say, "Is your name Neil?"
Yeah. I was. Hey, are you so and so?
Well, that's how they're going to steal a ride.
I know that, but I just think it's more friendly.
I agree with that, but why would you do that? Why would you want to get a stolen ride?
Because no, I don't. But I always confirm the address, and that's how I feel that that's enough security for me, because I will do that, and I will never change the address on them. I will have them do it in the app. I don't do that.
Okay, so I agree.
Yeah,
that
I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying too. If you are hard and firm about confirming the address, which lately I have been more diligent on that,
Yes.
but there's lots of times where I never did. You're right. I guess you could.
I mean, even if the people say I don't know how to do that, I will say, "Give me your phone, and I'll show you how to do it." And I will do it. Now,
Right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's fair enough. I can appreciate that. you're right. It makes it more personal, and that's what he's talking about is having that, connection with that person. But I never thought about that. I was going to rip this guy up and down, but I guess if you confirm the address, and how many times have you had? 2 times that someone tried to steal it out of
1 time in my 3 years.
Yeah. So if you've been doing that,
well, 2 I guess with a girl, but
okay, that's fair enough.
I was young.
See, I'm glad you came on tonight because I never would have. Ben wouldn't have called me on that.
No, probably not.
Yeah, you would have been like, "What an idiot!" Like me, right?
Yeah.
To this Vish guy, but no, that's a good point. Maybe I'll start doing that because you're right. If you confirm the address and they say, "Oh, that's not the right address," I'm like, "Oh, well, you're clearly not the
change it then."
Right.
Well, exactly, and as long as you're just very strict about, well, I'm not changing anything.
Right.
I'm taking you where the app is going, because the other thing that I'm not sure very many riders even think about this, but if Uber can essentially decline the ride and kind of take the money away from you if you take them to somewhere else where the app doesn't say you to go.
Technically, yeah, you're right. They can do that.
So you're
and they have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So you're more protected if they change the address.
So if you confirm that it's the correct rider and you're driving along and they're like, "Oh, never mind, we want to go here," you make them change it in the phone?
Oh, absolutely. Or make a stop.
Interesting.
I mean, if you want to do this, that's fine. Make a stop.
Yeah, I should be more strict on that. If I know where it is, I just like, all right, fine, I'll take you there. I mean, I've never had anyone question it. So, I mean, the chances are probably slim to none that they're going to, but interesting. So, and number 7, know your customer spectrum and who falls outside of it. He basically doesn't deal with drunks. So that's why he has a 4.99. And I noticed that my rating has gone up slowly because I don't drive full time, but just doing airport rides because I'm not getting those, 3 stars, 1 stars because they paid too much. So I'm not a 4.99, but I am a 4.92.
I'm a 4.86. I know 4.85. I don't care. I
Yeah.
mean, sorry. I mean, it's not. I was a 4.84.
Yeah.
Before Lyft and I had a disagreement.
Right.
And
I understand, but if you had a higher one, you'd probably talk about it more, right? Because it just makes you feel good.
Sure.
Yeah, it means absolutely nothing. And they point that out in the article that Uber does not reward you for a high, which I wish they would.
Seriously.
Come on,
there are so many
separate this.
But let's look at the other side, though. I mean, how often, and I should probably do it more, but how often do you guys deny a ride if they're less than what? When
4.6.
No, but here's the thing, though, Ben. When you're busy and the search is going, do you actually turn down the ride at night? If it's a 4.2 or something like that? Do you?
I will turn down a ride.
I do.
I have never done that. I've never done that based on... I would turn down a 5.0 because it's a brand new.
Why would you do that?
Because sometimes
that's your opportunity.
That's
your opportunity to be a good... To show them,
set the bar high.
I would never turn down a 5.0.
Not on bar, not on search.
Sure,
but there's been a couple of times where I was like, when I'm at the airport.
I understand that. We always joke about it. Oh boy, this is going to be rough, but I still going to take it. Now I will not. I've taken everything I've ever gotten at the airport. If it's a 4.2, I'm taking it at the airport because a lot of times they travel a lot in the bigger cities and. Everyone's jerks and they rate them poorly. But if it was a 4.2 in the city,
no,
touch that with a 10-foot pole.
No thanks.
See, I don't care.
Really?
I don't mind.
And that's why you got a 4.85.
I accepted one.
I'm just teasing, buddy.
The reason why I have that 4.85 is because of that guy. The video that we no longer is up there right now. The guy who yelled at me. He gave me a 1 star. That's still there.
The guy that yelled at you.
What was his name? Griff or whatever. The guy, the video we had up there. I picked him up that one time.
Don't know.
The
Don't
drag?
Remember.
No. The one before. The one. The guy that I had in the car that was actually pretty aggressive to me and called me a.
That one.
Yeah.
Oh.
He 1-starred me because I wouldn't take his 7. His 7
how
buddies.
How can he rate you if you canceled the ride?
I didn't.
You didn't.
They wasn't canceled ride.
That's right.
I took him to a tour.
Well, that was a good video, and we were getting some traction on it.
Yeah, whatever.
We were.
No, I know.
Because people commented on like, I remember those comments are like, why did he just not cancel the ride? That was like the number one comment, which I get it.
Well, again, I think the reason why I didn't cancel the ride is because I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I think it was.
It had to have been because I don't know why you would have done. I mean, you were just trying to be a good. Basically, what happens is he offered to come back, and it was too many riders for his car, and he offered to come back. I think you just were like, you know what? I'm going to try to kill this guy with kindness.
Well,
and it didn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Well, I mean, his girlfriend was super uncomfortable on my behalf, if you will.
But that was a while ago. I mean, that should be almost off, right? I mean, every 500, right?
Well, the last
every 500 rides.
The last 500 rated rides.
Rated rides. That's true. So, but anyways, the rating really doesn't mean anything. Long story short, but it does feel good when you have a higher rating. I don't, whatever.
No, I mean,
Ben, what's yours?
I was at a 4.84 in January. Now in July, I'm at a 4.88.
Okay, so you've slowly gone up too.
It's because of my car. That's the only thing that I've changed.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I'm sure once that 1 star falls off, I'll jump quite a
Oh,
lot,
yeah.
But
what's your rating on Lyft, Jesper?
ha ha ha. It was pretty high, actually.
Mine is like a 4.96.
Mine is not.
But I've only done 700 rides for them.
I think it was 489 as they. So I should probably say that I used to be a Lyft driver. I have 1,200 Lyft rides under my belt, if you will, and then I had a second speeding ticket without anybody in my car. I mean, I've never sped at all with any passengers in my car. This was on the trip. It was at 2 a.m. in the morning. I was going back to the search zones to pick up another one, and I got a second speeding ticket that apparently Lyft did not like. So,
and well, to let people know that maybe are new drivers or just people that are listening that are riders, Lyft is more strict on their driving record than Uber is.
And tell you what, now I'm probably gonna be canceled from Uber. Right?
I don't think. Yeah, right.
Instead of saying this, I'm bringing myself to attention.
Nah, I think you'll be fine. No one listens.
Nobody that Uber listens.
Right. I'm gonna skip the next one. We're killing it on time here. So then we're jumping to the segment of tip time. This one tip time with Giabrace bitches. I feel like we need a song. I posted on the page best places for food and bathrooms. Got some really funny ones. Not a lot of food. Here are some of the things I posted. The Shell on Michigan and Fuller, thanks to Ben. The Speedway at Fuller in Michigan is a war zone.
Yeah.
It's a war zone. And someone posted Speedway, at least the woman's, and that maybe it's cleaner, but the
men's room is disgusting.
It's a I mean, it looks like a bomb went off every time I go in there. Now, I'm just going to pee, but it's gross. The one at Fuller, Michigan, the light is nice in there. The everything's nice.
Yeah, Shell, Johnny's.
Yeah, Johnny's. Love it. I put Yesterdog for food. I haven't been there in a while, but it's just, I love Yesterdog. And then basically it kind of went down from there. Someone wrote the Curb. Interesting. I mean, I guess if you're in the middle of the woods or in a subdivision that's no people. I have done it. I'm not going to lie.
I've never done it.
Courtyard Marriott across from the Bob. That's a new one. I guess she just parks and runs in there maybe. I mean, I would have thought of that one. I bet it's a clean bathroom though.
I'm sure it is.
I would not do it.
Why?
Because I don't leave my car at the Courtyard.
Well, I mean, just to go pee?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I guess you could, but I'm just not. I mean,
it's okay.
I'm not that guy.
You're a snob.
No. But it's the whole problem with the Bob and pickup and all that stuff.
I wouldn't either. I agree. I feel bad going over there, and I do it. And the one security guy was super nice about it.
I really don't want to. What is the term I'm looking for? I don't want to overstep my welcome.
Yeah. That's a great way to explain it. I understand. I agree. I was just giving you a hard time, but you're right. I wouldn't leave it there. I want to get out of there as fast as I can. Someone put Speedway. I put nope.
Nope.
My favorite, the Gatorade Jug.
Gosh.
I do it. I do it in my daytime job too. I can't go to a bathroom every time I have to go to the bathroom. I'm in the field, so you know.
You just carry around spare Gatorade bottles?
No, I use the same one.
Gosh.
I just dump it out and clean it at the end of the day.
Is it getting ripe?
No, I dump it out and clean it at the end of the day.
You clean your pee bottle?
Yeah, we have a hose outside, and I spray it off with water and dump it out and throw it back in the truck.
All right.
Hey, you both work inside in the office. You have a potty 3 feet from where you sit. Mine's 6 inches. I just grab the Gatorade bottle and go.
If I'm out in the field, well, I guess I could stop at places.
Right. You're not at any place where... I mean, I can too. Don't get me wrong. If I drive by someplace, I will. But sometimes I'm in the boonies. I mean, I'm indoor. There's one gas station. I'm not driving 10 minutes to go pee and then go back out. One gas station. I think there's 2.
Jason's front yard.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Jason's front yard.
This next one, I hope he's not serious.
I mean, no one liked it, or he didn't put a smiley face, and I've never seen him comment before on the page, but he put cemetery. So, I mean, technically, let's look at it logically.
Any particular plot that he keeps going back to?
Keep marking his spot. So, actually, if you think about it logically, cemetery is a pretty good place to go. There's nobody in there at night.
True.
I mean, in most of them, you can drive right in. There's no gates or anything, so it's not a bad thought.
It's a respect thing, though.
That is true. I mean, if you're like...
No.
Yeah, good point. I never thought about that. I mean,
people's final resting place here on Earth.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go piss on their graves.
Well, I will let you know, if you go to Winchester Cemetery on 76th Street in Byron Center, there is a porta potty in the back. And I only know that because we fertilize that. And so when I have to go, I don't go in the Gatorade bottle.
You fertilize the porta potty?
Nope, I fertilize the grass.
Oh, okay.
That was a pretty good one, though, Jesper. Jimmy John's for, I think, bathroom. Gabriel, thank you, my house. And then, yeah, so let's just touch on the annoyance of that Facebook page.
Yes.
And just, why do we have to all be so negative?
Right.
When someone posts a ride, good job, man. Nice work. Like, if you're not going to be constructive, why even post anything?
But so let's be honest then. If you're saying, and I agree with you, why do we have to be negative? But often though, Jason, we're negative too. I mean,
snarky.
What? Absolutely.
So I agree in the beginning.
Not about the rides, but a lot of the other stupid comments that people are saying all the time. People are just making it so easy to make negative comments about it, because some of the things that people are talking about in that group is just, are you kidding me? It's like people have absolutely no sense about what it takes.
My question is, are those comments just fun and snarky, or are they criticizing them?
Well, I guess that's how you take it, right? That's
and
how
it's such a fine line online.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
If somebody doesn't know me, for example, Cece, she blocked me because she thought I was
Did you know that?
horrible.
When?
Before she came on the podcast.
Oh, I didn't.
So Jason was talking about this chick named Cece that he was going to invite to be on the podcast, and I'm trying to find her on Facebook, and I can't. And then when she's tagged in a post, I can't click on her name. I'm like, she blocked me. So I talked to her the night we did the podcast, and sure enough, I was on her blocked list. She said she thought I was a lot different than how I actually am.
Right. And agreed. You can't read tone. You don't know their tone. And I will agree, before we started GR Rideshare, I was a lot more snarkier. Not that I stopped it, but because of it, but I'm like, is this really doing anything? So I backed off quite a bit on that.
And I do agree with you that, and I should probably back off too, but sometimes it's just so easy.
It's way too easy.
It's just, but you're right. I mean, honestly, I'm not even doing it to troll, right? But I think I'm asking. I mean, I have 25 years of experience being an entrepreneur, and so I'm asking the questions that people would just never ask, right?
Well, you're jumping onto someone else's post, which we'll talk about.
We'll get there,
right? But I mean, I'm talking about
what you said about negativity, though. I think that was why I was trying to jump on. You're right, because unless you have a positive, actual something to bring to the table, then why even do it? Then if you're just saying something stupid to say something stupid and negative, then you're being a troll, right?
Well, Yeah, there's something if you're just kind of being funny is fine, but then you got people that are saying, "Oh, we're still talking about this." Yeah, that's what social media is. Why are you posting it? You're not being constructive. Like it's his right to do it. I mean, just like it's our right to be constructive, but I don't know. I get it. I mean, it's a place to vent and stuff, but there is a fine line with that stuff. And if you do it, great. More power to you. If it makes you feel better to be super mean to somebody,
or just a Debbie Downer.
Yeah, that's it. Like, what?
I don't like the cashiers. The cashiers at that one store don't like me.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, do you buy things?
Yeah.
Or do you just use their bathroom?
Well, what's interesting is I've had such great feedback at that store. There's a woman that works overnights on the weekends. I just give her a big smile because I know her job's really hard and she's super pleasant. Like she smiles back and we make small talk. I'm like, oh, because
are we talking about Johnny's now?
Yeah, Johnny's. I've been getting a donut there, and like one night I came in a little early. I'm like, oh, the donuts aren't even unloaded yet, and I says, I'll take one out of the box. She's like, yeah, that's fine. I said, well, maybe if you stay busy enough, you won't even have to unload them because everyone will eat them out of the box. You know, just small talk. And I'm like, I'm going back here. She's nice. You go to the Speedway through bulletproof glass, and they're like, they can't even scan anything because, anyways.
Well, we used to go to the other one, right? The one on Michigan and College.
The Circle K?
Yeah, the Circle K. But that bathroom is horrible.
See, I don't think it's that bad.
Oh, are you kidding me?
What? I don't know. I've
never been there.
I've had decent luck there. What I had trouble with is their machines go down all the time. And, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but there's tons of homeless in there, and there's a lot of times that we're in line, and I get hit on for money, and it smells, and I know it's like first world problems, right? But it's just I'll go there, but yeah, Johnny's on Fuller, Michigan is
absolutely
is my jam. So
and now we just ruined that. Now we got to find something else.
No kidding.
Further away.
Well,
also another Johnny's in town.
Well, what's interesting is GRPD hangs out there too, so clearly that's a good place, and it's kind of cool.
Same with the other Johnny's.
I actually had some pretty good discussions. Not really discussions, but you know, you exchange words with the officers.
Absolutely,
and it's just, I mean, they're doing their job, and I have tons of respect for them. I would not want to do with it.
You know, and it's nice for them to have a place to go, just that they kind of feel like, you know, it's third shift. That's kind of their hangout. I mean, it's Grand Rapids. We're such a progressing city. We have no cool places open. I mean, Grand Coney, like they're going to go there. But, I mean, this city shuts down after 2 a.m. I mean, it's like a ghost town. So it's cool they have a place to go. And, you know, maybe they give them free pops or whatever. So, but it's cool.
I mean, let's talk about police presence just for a little bit. Holy smokes. That has been growing like crazy in the last couple of years.
Well, the city's been booming.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you see them a lot more now than I first started driving.
Have you seen any mounted officers this year?
No.
Not yet.
No, I haven't either.
Speaking of taxpayer money, so I was in East Grand Rapids yesterday. I mean, $2 million homes, $3 million homes. I'm doing some. We actually do Peter Secchia's lawn. You know who he is?
Yep.
He's never there. I mean, I don't even think he lives there, but he still has a home there. So I'm on his street, right? 2 East GR police officers on bikes drive by. I'm like, where's the crime? Like, why are you on the street? Like, it just seemed funny. I'm like, they're just like, tooling around.
I think for them, it's also just that they're visible.
Right, but be visible downtown East Grand Rapids. Why are you down?
True, but they're just driving around.
I know.
You know,
it just kind of cracks me up. I'm not teasing them. I'm just saying they have so much money.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to know a fast fact about East Grand Rapids? They don't have to take their trash bins down. The trash company comes up to their house, takes the bins down.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
The other thing about that is they will. You can just put your leaves out to the street in East Grand Rapids.
That's a lot of cities have that. That's
the Walkers certainly do not.
No.
Nope.
I think Granville did at one time, but they don't now. I mean, they have a place where you can dump it for free and they take care of it. But yeah, East Grand Rapids comes up and sweeps it up.
I actually signed up for lawn. What's it called?
Yardway service?
Yardway service, yeah. I love that.
I don't. Never use it. I mulch my grass. That's the best thing for your grass is to mulch it.
Yeah, whatever.
And you have a lot of trees, though.
Yeah.
You have a lot of leaves. I rarely have leaves, so I can just mulch mine up. So, and you got a lot of trees too.
I do.
Don't you?
Old trees.
Older ones.
So,
But, all right,
so
let's.
police
sorry.
presence.
God bless you.
Wow.
Bless you.
That was a wet one.
That was. Ugh.
You want a tissue? I do have tissues down here.
Hey, look at that. Have you ever been followed by a police officer late at night?
I
Well,
actually had one.
rideshare driving.
I had one last weekend.
Yeah.
It was only for about a minute and a half, and then he turned off. But it's like,
Yeah.
it was very strange.
Well, they're looking for drunks.
well, of
Yep.
course,
Right. I know I can't. I take that back. I have been pulled over one time, but I was Grubhubbing. I mean, I was doing everything, but I happened to be on a Grubhub run, and it was 28th and Kalamazoo, and I had a
Okay.
brake light out.
Oh.
And I have all my windows are tinted, even in the front.
Yeah.
Not as bad as the mafia bosses were, but enough where it's like, okay, and
Sure.
it was fine. I didn't know I had a brake light out, and she told me, and I went
There you
home
go.
and fixed it. But
Yeah, I live kind of on a side street off of a main street. So I was turning onto the side street and noticed in my rearview mirror there's a sheriff following me.
okay,
I turn onto my street. He turns onto my street. I turn into my driveway. He just drives slowly by. I'm just like,
yeah, he
Interesting.
probably was probably just seeing if you were drunk
yeah.
or whatnot. But
I actually had one time about 2 years ago where I got pulled
Keep
over
going, I
by,
gotta let my
by a
dog out.
police officer, and I had passengers in my car.
Oh, yeah. That's always fun.
And the officer was super cool about it. It was out in Granville, and what happened was, it was 2:30 in the morning, and so it was kind of almost over. It was my last ride, and I kind of, I didn't come to a complete stop at the stop sign. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
And so he pulled me over. He was being super cool about it, and there was absolutely nobody on the roads in Granville,
Yeah.
right? So it was like
Oh,
it
yeah.
was complete ghost town.
Yep.
And so he was just, it's what you said. He was just making sure I wasn't drunk. I was getting people home safe or whatever. I mean, he checked my license registration, all that stuff. And then he just kind of waved me on my way in. So it was fine. And he just said, next time, make sure you come to a complete stop. So
Yep.
he's super cool about it. But that was my only time where I've had that. And as I said, I've never had any bad experiences with the police. They're doing their job.
They are. And thank goodness they're out that time of night.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. I did get pulled over twice.
Okay.
First time, very similar to yours. It was out in Jenison.
Okay.
And it was actually a girl I went to high school with. She was the police officer. That was awesome. So,
You were able to use your look to get out of it?
yeah. So, I had dropped off in a neighborhood out in Jenison, and she and another Ottawa County sheriff were sitting in a parking lot close by. She claims I didn't come to a complete stop as well. I think that's just their standard line.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did, but whatever. So she put her lights on just as I was about to get on the freeway to go back to Grand Rapids. So I pulled over, and similar, I mean, she just checked everything, checked to make sure I was good, asked me what I was doing out that time of night, showed her the Uber app, talks about high school stuff since it had been a while since we've seen each other. That was random. And then we went on our way. The second time I got pulled over was also in Jenison. I don't know. It's ridiculous. So is it Cottonwood? Is that?
Yep.
You take that down, and then there's a Speedway right off the freeway, but there's also one further down, right?
yes, there's one right off the freeway, and then you get to Cottonwood, and if you keep going down Baldwin, there's
okay.
another
Yes.
Speedway.
So I went down Baldwin to pick
You
up.
just pulled yourself out?
I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I went down Baldwin to pick up a couple of passengers.
Yeah.
And they're in the car, and I'm going through the light just after Speedway, and it turned to yellow. I didn't put my brakes on. I just put my gas on. And
Well, yeah, that's what we all do.
yeah. And as I'm going through the intersection, I look out my window, and there's an Ottawa County sheriff.
And you're like,
And he puts his lights on, and
what time of night was it?
this was like, it was light out still. So it was like
Oh,
7. So he pulled me over, saw that I had passengers in the car. He was really cool about it, checking my stuff, and comes back and just says, all right, you're good to go. Just next time, slow down and stop for a yellow light. So
Yeah.
Thank God for the police. I'm glad my 2 stops didn't result in tickets. Sorry, Jesper.
It's because you're Danish.
I didn't actually get any tickets with the passenger in the ride.
No, but he's just talking about tickets in general.
Your speeding tickets.
Well, my one ticket was in my Mazda. That's too easy.
All right, let's talk about questions for our gerbils. Questions from our local Facebook group. Cindy posted this. I don't believe it was yesterday, but whatever. She was gotten into a terrible accident and they totaled out her car, and she was at the dealer, and the finance company says interest will be higher due to rideshare driving. She goes, anyone else experience this? Maybe it's something new with the banks. That sounds really shady.
It does. Totally shady.
Somebody else was commenting about that particular dealership and how they've had other issues with
Oh,
them.
really? I didn't know where she was.
So she was at a Kia dealership. Yeah, I don't know which one.
No, I don't need. Well, she's from Spring Lake, Grand Haven area, so it could have been out there.
I don't know. Somebody was asking if it was the Somerset, and she didn't deny or anything. So I don't know if that was what it was, but at least there was that. There was one commenter who had a pretty interesting feedback on that. Basically, that the gist was that if you are the idea was that if you are driving full time, the reason why you might get a higher rate is because as a full time contract employee, then your income is not as stable as if you are.
Absolutely.
And then you might get a higher.
Yeah, if they know
that point, I can see.
Yeah, well, it's hard to get financing if you're a full time. They don't look at it as regular income, which
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if you have a year or two of driving and have some W-2s, okay, different story. But
well, you wouldn't have W-2s
or you know what I mean,
1099s. But yeah,
thanks.
Yeah. Is that a fact check, Ben?
No,
you don't
it
even
is
get
true.
1099s anymore.
Yeah,
unless you make $20,000.
Boom, Jesper. Burn.
But you don't get W-2s either.
You're right. I meant tax information.
Right.
Is that better? Schedule C? There you go. That's what it is. It's a Schedule C.
Either
That's
way.
what you fill out, but you know.
Yeah. Oh,
but
shut up!
That would be the only reason I can see as to why you would get a different.
Yeah.
Because other than that, it has. Why would they
basically,
care?
Yeah,
why would they care what you use the car for? As long as you pay them their money back. What?
Right. Yeah, you would get a higher interest rate if you were bad credit or you didn't have the income to prove.
Her comment was that they had told her that if they found out that you were using the vehicle that you bought from them to rideshare, they could impound the car and come.
So I think there is something to that. I agree. I think there is something to that part, but not the higher interest rate. So I think some banks do not let you borrow the money if you're going to use it for work. Pretty sure. That could be true. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Batten's writing down
So
that.
we'll do a fact check on that.
We will, but I mean, I'm just talking about why your finance would be higher because you're an Uber driver. That's kind of what the question was, but I'm almost positive that there are some banks that will, if this is what you're going to do with the car, they won't loan you the money.
Well, I know that I went to Lake Michigan Credit Union.
Right.
I got pre-approved. They absolutely knew I was using it for Uber because my financing officer was also an Uber driver at the time. So they absolutely know.
Yeah.
And so they certainly do not have any problem.
Yeah, I'm
with
sure
it.
some banks don't have a problem with it or credit unions, but there may be some different banks that just don't really know anything about it, and that's the rule.
Right.
But we'll look into it.
Yep.
Basically, the bottom line is don't tell people you do that. Don't tell your insurance company.
Let's step back a little bit though. I mean, so that's the whole thing about when is it a lie?
You're right. It was a gray area until they started offering coverage, and we all did it. Don't say that you didn't.
Absolutely.
We all did it.
Absolutely. And there's still issues with the insurance law in Michigan.
Right. It's terrible.
But I have the rider now.
I do too.
And I have the rider.
Yeah.
And
now it's be common, and Farmers was the first one. I went with them right away as soon as they offered it, and then they've all kind of jumped on board with that. So, but my point is, just, you're dealing with insurance company, banks, and everything. Just get your loan and go on with your life. No one needs to know what you do at night. I mean,
Right.
Well, if it's their only stream of income.
Well, then they have to. You're right.
There's a difference there, right?
And I think Cindi does this full time.
Oh, I did not know that.
Both she and her husband are
Yeah,
drivers.
they both drive, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So
I know she posts a lot, and I know she drives,
they're
but
killing it on the lakeshore.
are they?
So.
Cool.
But there's also people out there, just like CC. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on what they do and what kind of education they have, right? But I mean, CC makes $1,000 a week. I mean,
Yeah. And it's almost I want to see. We are going on some totally different tangents, but about the tax squirrel. I want to see what if she has to pay taxes, because I don't have to pay taxes on my income,
right?
And if she doesn't, and let's say she just makes $1,000 a week, it's $52,000 a year.
I don't know how much it is, but yeah.
Well, but I mean, for ease of numbers, that's $52,000, and you don't have to pay any taxes on that. I mean, I'm just curious.
Well, and this year is going to be different too, right? Because now we have Trump's new simpler taxes. So we'll have to see how that all works.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. How dare you say Trump? Next question, Jennifer Crummel. Don't know who she is, but she had a question. Oh, insurance. My insurance just informed me that since I use my car for Uber and Lyft, they're canceling my policy and say I need commercial vehicle insurance.
She said later on she had Geico.
Okay. Geico doesn't have
I don't
a
not
rider?
in Michigan.
I don't think in
Okay.
Michigan, yeah.
Anyone have any recommendations for insurance provider? Again, did she tell them that she's driving for Uber and Lyft?
Well, or they might find out. I mean,
They
Right.
ask.
They ask
They
now?
do ask. Like, if you call in to file a claim, they ask you.
So it's funny. You're right. I was worried about that they were going to ask, because I asked Megan, my wife, I'm like, then I have to actually lie or not lie. One of the two things have to be done. So I felt really guilty about that.
Yeah.
So
I do not have rideshare coverage on our Honda Civic. It's my wife's car. She did Uber for just to get the promo.
the bonus.
Yep.
Yeah.
She hasn't driven since. Well, I was in an accident in the winter in that car, and I called to report the accident and start the claims process. I'm not even kidding you. After the name and contact information and phone number and all that, were you driving for rideshare at the time of the accident?
Well, maybe they did because you already had a rider on there. So they're just.
But it's only on the other vehicle.
Right. They should have.
Still.
It's probably in bold letters, rideshare driver.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the rate for that extra stuff isn't more, just because it's such a risky kind of thing, rideshare driving.
Is it really though?
It is, and it's not.
It is, because you are on the road more.
Yeah, but
The act of driving isn't any more risky than you driving to and from work, but you're on the road a ton more.
you're also hyper aware of your surroundings.
Right.
True. No, I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about, come on, we drive when drunk drivers are out.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Your car doesn't beep at you? Or what? You
What?
have a 2010. Never mind.
Yeah. Poverty.
Sorry.
Hashtag poverty pilot.
Hashtag select.
So I know.
Speaking of select,
Squirrels.
Squirrels.
Hashtag
real
squirrels.
quick. So, and this is another thing I'm gonna try this coming week, so maybe we can talk about it later. But I was told by somebody out by the airport
I've heard this from Nick, too.
that basically because the Grand Rapids market is missing select cars, if you go down to the hub, they will override the national rules on select cars for some of them. If you have nice leather seats, if you have a nice vehicle and that kind of stuff, even if your vehicle is not on the list.
Well, how does Nick get it? He doesn't even have leather. Isn't he Uber Select too?
He's
and
Select.
Uber Premier? Or Lyft Premier?
It's because
But the Acadia is on the list.
Is on the list.
Yeah. But not
Regardless
for
of
Uber.
options.
I don't know.
So he did go down. That's right. He did go. Maybe that's why. Here's the weird part. My car is supposed to expire this year for Select, and I still get it. So maybe that's the same thing. They're like, there's not a lot of Select cars, so they're just letting it go.
I'm definitely going to take it and go down to the hub. I'm going to try and take the car in on Friday, clean up nice, and go down to the hub and see if they can override
There's
me.
no way they're going to do that, by the way.
Why not?
It's a minivan.
Who cares?
I love
I can
minivans. I'm not
try.
hating. Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and try, but I'll put $5. They won't do it.
I better get it for mine.
You would?
Yeah.
You got cool seats. Like,
Yeah.
not cool like hip, but it cools his butt.
I have nice leather seats.
Does
man.
it cool your butt?
No.
Okay, then.
Does your car beep at you when you're about to get in an accident?
I don't know. I've never been about to get in an accident.
Well, I mean,
Oh, nice,
or if
Jesper. Nice.
or if you're too close to the person in front of you, it
No.
doesn't beep.
It doesn't.
Mine does. I pay zero. Well, not zero, but I pay less for insurance on this car than I did in my Honda Civic
Yeah.
Why?
because of all the safety features.
Really?
I got-
That's interesting.
I gotta tell you though, I mean, because I've been thinking about too. My black car is about, I'm gonna drive it till it dies probably, but I'm thinking about getting another vehicle. And honestly, one of the reasons why I like the minivan so much is my buttons. I mean,
I agree. When I drove the wife's van, loved it.
I mean, the
buttons are so
door,
nice.
and I get so many comments.
I know. Compliments, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm driving in style now. The door opens.
Well, I
so-
think it's for people that never been in a minivan. I'm like, power doors have been around for like 20 years.
I know, right? But it's and then my I have the windows, so the windows in the back seat will go down too, and they love that, right?
Yeah.
And so people are, whoa, your minivan's windows go down. This is awesome. So I don't know.
Go for it.
I'm gonna
It
try.
can't hurt to try.
Yeah, it can't hurt to try.
I have to get new tires on my car before I do that. I'm just afraid they're going to check the tires.
No, they
He
won't.
won't.
He's not going to walk out of his office.
He don't know.
He's going to go, yeah, all right. I'm in a good mood today. Yeah, bring him like a Starbucks gift card or something to say, oops, drop this. Sorry. All right.
Benjamin is asking if he can be not.
Yeah.
Hey, I had this really good idea the other day. You want to hear it?
Hashtag squirrel.
I wanted to start a business and take on private clients with a new venture.
Really? Interesting. What was that business?
Taking on a
New
private
venture?
clients with a new venture.
What's the venture?
Just reading.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Somebody did post this. This was a real
Is that hurting your ears?
conversation.
so not so much you, but him and I always thinking about new businesses. Him and I will bounce stuff off each other and we're like, yeah, let's do it. And of course, you don't have the money. And I get his excitement and tired of the man. What are you laughing at?
Well, it's just
Context.
We have the
he
entrepreneur.
has absolutely no clue what it
Oh,
takes.
yeah, right. Of course.
Zip zero zilch.
Right. In his defense, though, we don't either. We throw these ideas out, you and I, and we're like, we just need $100,000, and we're like, well, we need more than $100,000. We need
Absolutely, but
But-
we have more sense of what it takes to actually do it.
right. And
I want
How
to
much
take
do you
down
think-
Uber.
Joyrun took to get off the ground.
like initially,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's bare bones.
it is.
It's
So-
which is maybe they could be profitable. I mean, Uber and Lyft are not profitable yet.
Anyway, sorry.
But I do. I applaud him saying, "Hey, they're taking way too much." I agree with them. They're taking way too much. Way too much. Right. But I mean, they're here to stay. I mean, it's
I
already,
didn't write the software.
no, I'm not saying they shouldn't get paid.
Yeah,
28% is too much.
I don't.
We're
It's
taking
25.
all the. Well, for you, they're taking.
Is 25 too much?
Yes.
But isn't it just capitalism? And I'm not saying they're not taking too much. Okay, I'm not. I think they are, but they're taking as much as they can.
They're right. They can do what they want. I'm not mad at them. I just think they're being greedy. We're taking all the risk, Ben. It's our car, our insurance, our gas, our wear and tear, our life out there. And they're taking 28%?
Well, in more cases, if you read my article,
I did.
they take more than 32%.
Right. So to me, I mean, and again, that's a side topic, but I'm not hating on Uber. I'm just, I see where he's coming from because he's like, I'm spinning my wheels out here. And that's why I think Uber is a good side gig. And
It's not supposed to be full time.
And if you do it full time, like Cece, she's doing a great job. She provides great service. I mean,
But let's look at Cece, right? She did 2 days worth of research
Yeah.
before she even started, right?
You're right.
She got the right car. She has that car. I mean, have you been in the car?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I've taken 2 rides with her. It is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. She gives away water. She does all the right things.
And she's
killing it.
Right.
She doesn't even drive 40 hours a week.
right.
And she makes her goal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all about attitude.
it is.
Right? You can either sit at the airport and get bitchy, excuse me, and kind of be
You can
mad
say
about
bitchy.
the things that you don't get.
Yeah.
Or you can go out there and then do it differently. And I think Cece and this other person I won't mention, they're the same level. Cece's an Uber X. He is an Uber X.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he couldn't do the same.
You know what? That's a good point. She you don't see her bitching. She just goes out and like, well, this isn't working. I'm going to do this. Oh, this works? Okay. Then this is what I'm going to do.
That. Do it again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
it's all about the attitude.
He doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to drive for Uber. He can go get another job. He can go flip burgers for what I care. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But don't do that.
I know. But
I want to take down the man.
I understand. You get worked up about this, don't you?
Because it's just he has no clue.
What if what if the funny part of it is?
You know he's gonna get mad at me when he listens to this.
Well,
podcast.
whatever.
I don't know if he'll listen, but
Well, I mean, he owes the library some money, so he probably doesn't have. Well, he does have a smarphone.
Somebody did say that.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty funny.
He was trying to get, what was it, a copy of an Uber sticker or whatever it was.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a big troll. He's trolling us all.
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
you can't hear tone, right? So it could either be he's serious or
LC a troll.
no. That I know for sure. But
Yeah.
it's just
I mean, nobody's met this fellow.
No, I applaud him for wanting to do more. I'm just saying logically, like you're saying, it's been tried in Grand Rapids with Steady Fare, and Steady Fare's still around, but in a different capacity.
No, he sold it.
He did so?
Yeah, Hope Network bought it, and they're using it for all their networks now only.
Okay, but I thought he had a black service, or is that not?
No, it's all gone.
It's all gone?
Yeah.
Go Lux is what Hope Network offers now.
Well, yeah, but he
it
sold
was
the software.
Yes, yeah. They built it, and he sold it to Hope Network. And
Okay.
so they're offering it under the Golux name. Yes. But
Okay.
It's all Hope Networks.
His software. Okay. So it's been tried. It's tough. I mean, he tried it before Lyft got here.
Yeah,
and it was tough.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and his initial investment. I mean, he raised money first, and he raised $700,000.
Right.
That was the first round, and I'm pretty sure he raised money second, several times.
He did.
It's not something you just do, right?
Right.
That's the thing. It's like, oh, let's do a Kickstarter, and it's like, I'm not trying to put him down, right? But I'm just saying, if you want to do this, step back, make a plan, and actually try to do it. Don't just post on social media. Saying,
that's why I think he's just trolling
on new clients.
I think that's why I just think he's trolling, because it's like, why would you do that? You're just going to get snark. Right. If he says I'm taking on a new venture, then okay, when you say that, then all of a sudden post a PDF on your plan.
Yeah.
Right after you say that, like, what do you expect you're going to get?
Or if you actually mean business, saying, hey, I'm looking for 3 to 4 real business partners. I have this NDA that I want to design if you want in. Or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, protect yourself a little bit, right? I mean,
right.
It's just NDA means a non-disclosure agreement. You can look them up online.
I didn't know what that meant, but I just was going to roll with it. So I think, do you think we should wrap it up? We are 90 minutes in, or do you want to? Really, the only thing I have is our current events. I don't know. Let's just end it. I think it's good.
End it.
We don't need to get into. It's a good current event, and we can talk about it another time.
Well, they won't be current anymore, right?
That's true. Well, it's not current because like the video was posted a month ago, so it's just gaining ground. But anyways, so Jesper, thank you for coming on. You did great. You were so worried about like, oh, no one wants to hear me. Like,
I know I sound like an idiot.
No, you don't. I know
That's
you
the
don't.
fun of it, though.
No,
I sound like an idiot all the time.
I can't listen. I can't listen to this podcast. I can't listen to myself.
You know, I have trouble with that a little bit too. I know Ben will listen to it all, but yeah, I don't like listening to it either. I'll listen to bits and pieces to find some spots in it, but But no, it was good. Yeah, I won't list all the stuff where you can find us. Just go to grrideshareadventure.com. You can get all your good stuff from there. So, all right, guys, have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show, guys. Hope you're enjoying it. Just wanted to throw this out here. We do have an offer for a free swag t-shirt from GR Rideshare Podcast or GR Rideshare Adventures Podcast. We need you to go to iTunes, rate, subscribe, and review. If you do that, send us the correct information that you did that, and we will send you a free t-shirt. I will put a link to the t-shirt in the show notes. There is a cost to it, but your shirt will be free if you do review us on iTunes. I appreciate everyone, and thanks for listening.